Hi everyone, my name is Nico and I'm one of the readers here on Heuristique, and I'll be doing your tarot reading for today. So just some quick disclaimers. It's general, you can flip the roles, it's timeless. I don't really know what to say. Hopefully it resonates. I hope that everyone watching this, something in it will resonate. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. Beaver, interesting. This is so weird. This reading is coming out so weird right now. I have to be honest, this might only be for one or two people. Hopefully it's for more. With the Beaver card being the first that came out, this doesn't feel like a person, it feels like the energy of the reading. So this is something that's been a long time coming, is what I'm hearing, you know? This card does talk about, you know, putting the work in, years of work, not just weeks. And it's saying that there's going to be more work needed to move ahead with it, you know? The work never really stops, right? Like, we're always growing, we're always moving, we're always changing. But in particular in this reading, it is going to take a little bit more elbow grease, if you will, to get something started or to keep something moving. But it does feel like a long time coming. It feels like if you've already been putting in the work, it's like, yes, more work is necessary, but there are dividends in the end, right? You are gonna get back what you give, is kind of what I'm hearing. So here's the interesting thing. I almost wonder if it's not you, it's someone else coming in as a protector. With this elk energy, this could be the person you're dealing with, but it seems like whoever the lamb is in this situation, this was the other card we got, the elk is protecting the lamb, which is so cute. You know, it could be mother-child, father-child. This does talk about divine masculine energy and it being a very masculine card. It's the giver, it's the sustainer, you know, but this is the problem with the elk card. And now it's being kind of like, ding, like I hear a bell ringing. Elk energy can get in its ego. And when it gets into its ego side, it flips ugly really quick because it goes from being loving, nurturing, caring to defensive, stubborn, turns away, you know, kicks its heels and just walks off. And you can just see, you know, hothead, right? This is kind of my Aries card in a weird way. Or fire sign card, I should say. It's not just for Aries, like Leos too. The sun, right? You can see like the heat, the fire is like all in their head, right? So when the ego gets activated, you know, ego doesn't really come from a heart place. It comes from a head place. Like, ego is just so, it can protect us, but it can also be our detriment. So what I'm hearing is, I mean, just from the way it's sort of laid out, the elk is turning away from the lamb. So the elk is turning away from the thing it's supposed to protect, almost. Not supposed to, supposed to is, I'm being corrected. Supposed to is a little strong, but how do I say it? Meant to protect, that's a better way to say it. It's like, it is a part of their dharma. It almost is a part of their life path to like protect this lamb. This could be very well you. It just seems like this person's not pulling their part of their soul contract or contract in general, if that makes sense. Turning away, not... Interesting. This is the second time tarantulas come out this week. So around the lamb energy, it's like owl and tarantula. So crossroads. I think if you're resonating with this, I think you're leaning towards being the lamb. And you do have a message for this person, you know, you do wanna, this is very prophetic. This is such, you know, in a biblical sense, lambs are all over that. I think we got lamb last week too. I might be, did we get lamb last week? I think we did, I might be wrong. We definitely got tarantula this week. So with this card, what I'm being told is, you know, you have a very gentle nature, you have a very caring, kind, you exude, or whoever the lamb is, exudes a very soft energy. But something about this elk turning its back on you is literally what I'm hearing now, you know. The elk is very I'll show you how I'm lining it up on the table. It's very literally turns its back on you. And you're kind of looking at it like, you know, with like Bambi eyes almost. Like, I know it's not deer, but like baby eyes, just like, really? I am getting a lot of hurt. As I said with the beaver card, it does talk about like a long term kind of thing. So if this is an ex, it's like you've recently broken up, they've recently turned their back on you, you know, it could be the father or mother of your child, like neglecting the child, and you're just like, are you kidding? You know, it could be a house, it could be so many things, a job, whatever it is though, like someone has turned their back on you, and I am getting the sense of betrayal, which isn't the easiest, but it's like you've had time to work through it, you know, with the beaver card, this energy, you've had time to work through it, you've had time to sort of process everything. And with the tarantula, this is one always talks about like being at a crossroads, being in a very uncomfortable, sticky situation right now almost. It's like you need to make the decision, and it's interesting because you see this yellow imagery that's sort of like being shown here. The yellow is very much so above your head. So I do think you are getting like divine knowledge, if you will, or guidance. Along with the owl card coming out with you, it's like, you know what to do. You know how to handle this person. You've seen this behavior before. All the readings are almost like bleeding into each other with this week. It's so weird. Yeah, but you're very, clairvoyance. This card does talk about that. You have a good head on your shoulders. You know this is coming from an ego place, but you know it's not your responsibility. I'm glad the owl came out with the lamb because it does show your maturity. It shows that even though, you know, you are young, loving, you might not be young, but you have a young spirit, you know, you're very giving, you're very caring. You know, the lamb, you're a lamb. Everyone loves lambs. You just want to like cuddle them. Even though you do have that side of you, there's also this owl, you know, if this is like divine mother or divine father, like I see the owl is very, you know, motherly too. There is just something about owls that I just think of crone, you know, grandmother almost, grandmother, mother, whatever. And yeah, you have the right perspective of this person. I'll leave it at that. You have the right perspective. And you know you're at a crossroad, and now I'm hearing like, should I stay or should I go? And I think that's why the beaver came up, because it does say like, if you want to enter another cycle with this person, you can, but it's going to take a lot of work, and you need to ask yourself if you're really willing to put in that much work, especially if this person is willing to turn the other way. Because I'm not getting any flighty energy off of you. I'm not, with them, their energy feels very fickle. It just feels like it could run away from me at any second, has no problem closing the door. Very defensive is what I'm getting. Very like, you know, you say something that they don't agree with or that triggers them, instead of opening up and letting you in and being like, this is why, you know, being vulnerable. This person does not like being vulnerable. They're very against it. They're very closed off, and like, we all have our reasons, but it's not your problem or your responsibility to deal with this person's lack of vulnerability when you're being completely vulnerable, is what I'm hearing. I have the lamb card, like, come on, like night and day here, right? Like, you are completely vulnerable. Like, ears, like, you know, I remember Mana used to say this. She would say wet behind the ears. It's kind of like that, where like, you're just being so vulnerable. You're being so open with this person, and they're just turning their back on you. I didn't even mean to hold up my middle finger to that, but you might be like, you know, I'm getting a little angry. You have the right to be angry, right? We have the tarantula card, you know? So for them, their ego is being triggered, you know? They're like that kind of whatever, but your heart's being triggered almost, right? Where the yellow is, right? Like head and heart. Your head and heart is really taking a beating from this, is what I'm hearing. Or if not, like, if beating's a little, you know, it's being impacted, right? Negatively impacting your mental and like emotional space. So I'll get one more card because I kind of want to see if this person is going to change. I'm sorry, no. No. Like, moth to a flame. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. It's moth to a flame in just a very mindless way is what I'm hearing. Like, you know how moths can sometimes, like, the door will be open and they will keep hitting their head up against, like, the window. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's the most frustrating thing for me because obviously, like, I love animals. Like, I just want to help them. So, like, I always try to, like, catch the moth and, like, help it outside. But I'm kind of like, really? The door's open. You can't just fly out. And it's one of those things where now I'm hearing, like, if you don't want me, then leave me alone. You know, like, this person might be hot and cold with you, you know, always coming in and out of your life. Maybe that's the beaver. It's been a long time. And you're kind of just like, decide. Like, you can't keep flying in, flying out, turning your back on me when it's convenient for you. You've had it. You've had it. Oh my God, you've had it. I'm just feeling it now. You're like, like, moth to flame, not in a cute way. Not in a cute way. It's in a mother, like, they expect you to be their mother at the end of the day. That you'll, like, always be there for them no matter what, no matter how many times they, like, spit on your face or turn their head away. And you're not having it anymore. There's something about you that, you know, you've transcended, you've, like, reached the next level, and they haven't. And I think that's what's very clear. I almost think this might be one of those, you know, we are in Mercury retrograde, one of those reconciliation moments that are like, ugh, you know, you kind of realize, oh, I can't believe I used to like you. Or if it's not like that, then it's like a reconciliation where you're like, I'm sorry, but we're not in the same place anymore, you know? Or I've outgrown you. This isn't working for me anymore. You just very, it sucks because the emotion, I can still feel the emotional, for lack of a better word, baggage that comes with this person, or trigger, maybe that's a better word. There's still a lot of heavy heart to do with them. But at this stage, you just know that they don't have a spot in your life anymore. You know, missing someone, but knowing you don't want them back. Wanting the memories back and the moments you shared with them back, but understanding that if you took this person back, at the end of the day, it would be to your detriment and to, like, to their success. Oh, it's not an easy one, but I do think, you know, this week might be a little difficult, but definitely by the end of the week, washing your hands of this person and doing it in a way that's true to you is what I'm hearing. Because your energy hasn't come off as harsh or angry. A little bit with the tarantula card, because I do understand the kind of like, are you kidding me? That kind of comes along with these sort of sticky situations, but I do think that you're making the right decision by moving forward. I think you're making the right decision by putting, you know, putting baby in the corner, if you will, like putting this person in their place. You're like, no, you can't just, you know, you're not an ATM machine. People can't come in and out of your life when they need some cash. You're a human, not a machine. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a phenomenal week, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.